So today we'll deal with activity 7, and this activity will decide whether acids conducts electricity or not. Okay, you need to check whether these acids conducts electricity or not, right? Firstly, we'll take some substances here. We'll take some substances like glucose, okay, alcohol, okay, HCl, that is nothing but hydrochloric acid, and sulfuric acid, H2SO4, right? So coming to the alcohol, it is C2H5OH, and glucose C6H12O6, right? So these were the substances. So let's deal with the activity. Let's start the apparatus here. Firstly, we'll take a beaker, and inside that beaker we'll take the liquid, corresponding liquid. Okay, we'll just interchange the liquids one by one. We'll start with HCl. Okay, we had taken some amount of HCl, that too in diluted form. As we discussed in the previous video, what is a diluted? Diluted means 90% water but 10% acid, right? So concentrated means just reverse it, 90% acid, 10% water, right? So we had taken diluted HCl here, and we'll put 2 graphite rods or 2 carbon rods here, right? So we'll use 2 wires. Okay, we'll use how many wires now? 2 wires. Okay, is that 2 wires having the same colors? No, different colors. One is a red and one is a black maybe. Okay, you could use any of the colors. So one is directly connected to a AC plug, and the other one is just connected to the bulb now. So these two were connected to the bulb. Okay, now is there any attachment between these two? That is, these 2 carbon rods were not attached with each other now, but you need to use 240 volts AC plug. Okay, let's put this thing inside the plug now. Now what happens is the electricity comes through this, okay, and comes inside the liquid, right? So but it just wanted to move on to this, so electricity need to complete the overall circuit, so then the bulb might glow. Okay, when electricity passes through it, now what happens is the electricity passes through this carbon rod, okay, comes inside the liquid. Now if this liquid contains some substances, then only there might be transfer of electricity takes place from one to another. Yes or no? So if we have taken here HCl normally contains a H plus and Cl minus, which means it contains a H plus ions. Yes or no? So hydrogen plus ions were there. So these H plus ions were the good carriers of electricity. So they are going to send the electricity to the other carbon rod. Then what happens is the bulb glows. Wonderful. So which means HCl is an acid. So acids contains which ions? H plus ions. So that's the reason what happens is the electricity passed. So acids are conducts electricity. Wonderful. H2SO4 is also an acid, that is nothing but a sulfuric acid, right? When you replace the liquid with H2SO4, now what happens? Same situation happens. The bulb still glows because H2SO4 also contains H plus ions, right? So it is also an acid. So in this case also the bulb glows. Wonderful. But while coming here, C2H5OH and C6H12O6, okay, these two were not acids. Okay, these two were not acids, but did the bulb glows? If you replace the same liquid with alcohol, does the bulb glows? No, the bulb doesn't glows. Okay, in next place, glucose also the bulb doesn't glows. Why is it happens? If you look into one more, let's take a solution of sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is a base. Wonderful. Okay, or else we could take one more base, magnesium hydroxide maybe. It is also contains OH minus ions, right? So when this solution is just replaced with NaOH, it contains Na plus, this is the metal ion, okay, remove it. OH minus ion, that is nothing but hydroxide ion is there, right? So this hydroxide ion is also a good conductor of electricity. So it also easily passes the electricity to another carbon rod. So then on what happens is the bulb glows again. Wonderful. So in the bases also the bulb glows because they contains ions. Which ions? Hydroxide ions. On the other hand, we have magnesium hydroxide. Here also same thing continues, right? So if you consider these two cases, what happens is in acids they have excess of H plus ions and little bit amount of OH minus ions, okay? But in bases they have excess of OH minus ions and little bit amount of H plus ions, right? But while coming to the glucose and alcohol, the bulb doesn't glow. Why this thing happened? That's because it contains H plus ions and OH minus ions, okay, but they were present in equal number, okay, which means this is neutral substance. Which substance? Neutral. If the substance is neutral, the bulb doesn't glow, right? So glucose and alcohol were the neutral substances. They contain the H plus ions and OH minus ions, but that too in equal numbers. So the bulb doesn't glow, right? So coming here, acids are good conductors of electricity. And also we need to write one more thing, that is bases were also good conductors of electricity, right? You need to remember these two. Clear? Wonderful. From this activity, this is one of the important diagram, and this is one of the important question in the acids and bases lesson. Okay, don't leave this question also. Okay, that's it. Tomorrow we'll deal with the next activity 8.